Have you ever heard a house whisper secrets? Not with words, but with a cold draft on a summer night, a child's laughter from an empty room, or a feeling of deep, unshakable sadness that seeps into your bones. Today, we're traveling to a quiet, unassuming town in Iowa, to a house that holds one of America's darkest and most chilling mysteries, the Villisca Axe Murder House. The date is June 10th, 1912. The sun rises over the small town of Villisca, Iowa, just like any other day. But this day would be different. This day, a neighbor, concerned that the Moore family hadn't started their morning chores, peered into a window of their simple white frame house. What they discovered would shatter the peace of this community forever and birth a legend that continues to terrify over a century later. Inside, the entire Moore family, Josiah, Sarah, and their 4 children, Herman, Catherine, Boyd, and Paul, had been brutally murdered in their beds. Visiting for the night were 2 young friends of the children, Lena and Ina Stillinger. All 8 people, 6 of them just children, were victims of a vicious axe attack. The killer had moved silently through the house, covering each victim's face with bedclothes after the horrific act. They even covered the mirrors with cloths, a strange ritualistic detail that has baffled investigators for decades. An uneaten plate of food and a bowl of bloody water were found in the kitchen, suggesting the killer remained in the house for some time after the murders. The investigation was immediate and widespread, but it was plagued by mistakes from the very beginning. The crime scene was quickly contaminated by hundreds of curious townspeople before it was properly secured. Suspects were questioned, including a traveling minister with a troubled past and a state senator, but no one was ever convicted. The murder weapon, the killer's own axe, was left leaning against a wall in one of the downstairs bedrooms, but it offered few clues. The person or people responsible for this unthinkable crime simply vanished, leaving behind a legacy of fear and unanswered questions. The case of the Villisca axe murders remains officially unsolved. But while the legal case went cold, the story of the house was just beginning. Almost immediately, locals began reporting strange occurrences. Lights turning on and off by themselves, objects moving on their own, and the distinct chilling sound of children crying in the dead of night. As the years passed, the house became infamous, not just for the tragedy that occurred within its walls, but for the powerful and often malevolent presence that seemingly remained. Today, the house stands preserved, a time capsule of that fateful night in 1912. It is considered by many to be one of the most haunted locations in the entire United States. Brave visitors and paranormal investigators who spend the night report a host of terrifying experiences. They speak of feeling an overwhelming sense of darkness and dread wash over them, particularly in the children's rooms. Disembodied voices are caught on recorders, whispering names or crying out in pain. Doors slam shut, dresser drawers open, and a ball has been seen rolling across the floor on its own. Perhaps most disturbing are the physical encounters. Many people have left the house with unexplained scratches on their skin, feeling as though unseen hands have pushed or grabbed them. The spirit of a man with an axe is sometimes sensed lurking in the shadows of the downstairs closet, believed by some to be the restless spirit of the killer himself. But it's the sounds of the children, faint giggles, the sound of running feet, and mournful cries that haunt visitors the most, a tragic echo of the young lives cut so short. Who was the killer? Why did they do it? And why does their dark energy, along with the sorrow of the victims, cling so tightly to this house? It is as if the walls absorbed the horror of that night and are still screaming it back, a silent, century-long scream. The house knows who did it. It was the only witness that survived, but it's not talking. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into one of America's most haunting cold cases. If you found this story as chilling and fascinating as I did, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the world's greatest mysteries. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.